Some of you, or probably none of you, will be familiar with the person who I am glad to enter into the Blacarian Hall of Shame, a woman by the name of Fontanilla. Now, the way I first found out about her is when Kid Gravity did I guess you can say a breakdown of this same tweet on his channel, and I'll leave the link to his video down below, and you can check out what he has to say and also subscribe to his channel if you have not done so already. So this is another one of those women who she's very right leaning. As far as I'm concerned, she's most likely grifting, and you'll see exactly what I mean when I show you something that I found at the end of this post. So she wrote this tweet the other day, and it's very lengthy. As you can see, it's very long. You know, when you on Twitter, if you have a blue check, you can write a little bit more in a post than those who do not. Me, I'm not pressed to get a blue check. If I get a blue check, that just means I earned it. I'm not about to pay for one. It is what it is. But we're going to go through this tweet line by line because it can be picked apart very easily. It is not hard. Trust and believe me. So she said, black supremacy is worse than white supremacy right now. First off, what the hell is black supremacy? Can someone define what that is? Remember, they tried to make BIE, black identity extremists, a thing, and that didn't land. I mean, it landed for a little bit, but it didn't stay very long because they really didn't have anything that could back up anything data-wise to prove that's what it is. And to my knowledge, you cannot have two supremes. There's only one. And we know white supremacy is indeed a thing and has been a thing for many, many years. It's mentioned in almost every Black Massacre series episode that I do on my channel. And these episodes, year-wise, date back to the late 1800s, some of the early 1800s, where the term white supremacy is mentioned. Black supremacy is not a thing. She said it just is. You know what she sounds like? She sounds like Megyn Kelly when they had told her about Santa Claus being white, and they asked her, why is he white? Or why is he not black, or something like that? And she said, because it just is. There you go. She says they can get away with being racist while being praised. That sounds like white supremacy to me. You're getting your terminologies mixed up. And she's being willfully and willingly obtuse. She said they can become celebrities and get paid millions for being a black supremacist. I'm talking Colin Kaepernick and Patrice Cullors. So are you trying to tell me that all black celebrities, for the most part, are now black supremacists when they become famous and get paid millions of dollars? And then she said Colin Kaepernick, why she even brought him up, I don't know. Patrice Cullors, she's a whole con artist. We've spoke about her. I did a whole video talking about her, and plenty of times I've done a couple of videos about her. But that black supremacists, again, that's not a thing. She goes on to say, says they can have commercials that glorify their race. She says label their businesses black owned and get special privileges for it. Okay, and you see what she's doing right here. This is a big dog whistle tweet right here. This is a big dog whistle tweet. And let me tell you something right now. She posted another tweet. If I can find it, I'll probably incorporate it in here, where she's trying to tell people, or black people, to leave the left, quote unquote, and come over to the Republican Party or the Conservative Party, which she dwells at. But she's going to put this tweet up days before, lambasting and bashing black people, calling them black supremacists, and then expect black people to just run over and flock to her like everything is just okay. Or rather, should I say, flock to them. I think I did a video a while ago where I was saying this is why a lot of black people don't rock with black conservatives, or something to that effect, because they literally talk down on black people and think black people are just going to run over there. Because the thing is, we know that the talking points that they give out is the same talking points that their white handlers are telling them to say. So you're literally being a mouthpiece for them. So the thing is, why would we run over there where we have to hear the verbal vomit twice? Granted, this is not me saying that you should choose one over the other. You can do what you do at the end of the day, because once you turn 18, you are legally in America considered an adult, and when you're able to vote. So you can go whichever way you want. Just know what package deal you're signing up for. For me, neither one of them are speaking to me. They're both talking very loudly and saying a whole bunch of nothing. But let's continue. She says, say black is king on the Disney Channel. She's referring to that documentary on Disney Plus that Beyonce did a couple years ago. That was just the title of the project, but it is what it is. She says, have black only spaces at public institutions. I'm trying to figure out, how does that make them a black supremacist? Again, she's listing all of these things that is supposed to be labeling black people as quote unquote black supremacists, when you can look back through Jim Crow and actually show what white supremacy actually did. Because none of the stuff that she's listing is hurting other groups at all. It's not financially crippling them. It's not keeping them out of jobs or locking them out of businesses or real estate or none of that. A lot of this stuff is real on the social level. It's not hurting anybody else at all, but for some reason, somehow, some way, she's making it seem like it is. And she's being a mouthpiece, and this is what you call stoking fear. Because when you think about the stuff that she's saying right here, and you have others, the usual suspects, talking about the great replacement, or they won't replace us, it keeps drilling into their head, into their mental, that yes, they are trying to replace us, and we have to do something about it. And she's helping to lead that charge. She's literally being a Trojan horse for them. It goes on to black only award ceremonies. I'm assuming she's talking about the Soul Train Awards, the Image Awards, and the BET Awards. And you can throw the BET Hip Hop Awards in there. That's 4 quote unquote black ceremonies. And might I add, all 4 of them come on the network known as BET, that is currently, as of right now, until further notice, is still in the hands of white people. And the thing is, those award shows that she's mentioned has had other groups of people, mainly, well, I can say namely white people, on those shows, current and in the past. And it hasn't hurt them in any way. So what is she talking about? She says they can be the highest paid athletes in sports and still claim to be oppressed. I feel like that's a dog whistle language to either Colin Kaepernick and definitely LeBron James. They think that the money still absolves black people, or in this case, black athletes, of oppression and white supremacy in this establishment. That she's one of the people that think just like they think, which is why they sent her out there, that if you have garnered all this money and made all these millions of dollars, there's just no way that racism should touch you. Boy, is she wrong. Remember that situation that happened with Dr. Dre in his driveway a couple years ago? That's a perfect example. And that man is knocking on the door, on the $1 billion door. She says they can inflict violence on other races at an alarming rate and not even make the news. How many times they like to try to talk about Chicago? Well, I'm not even going to use that, but they love to bring up Chicago. She says they can inflict violence on other races at an alarming rate and not make the news. Are you upset because when it's white people doing it to other people, mainly black people, it makes the news? See, she's doing that tit for tat thing. It's that whataboutism thing that they try to say that we need to stop doing as well. I'm telling you, this woman is so easily debunked. Let me keep on going. I feel like I'm wasting my time doing this, but content is content, and I haven't done a Black Karen video in a while, so here we are. This is they can coerce other races, especially white folk, to claim their privilege, give them money for being black, and even bow down to them with their hands in chains. What in the world is she talking about? And this is I'm telling you, when you look at the comment section for this and the other tweet that I'm going to show you, you know it's the usual suspects that'll come right on out and saying, you better tell them, you go girl, you telling the truth. They always love to tell black people that they're telling the truth whenever they're bashing other black people. But let her had said this about PC, they would have tried to run her off the platform. She says they can burn, loot, steal, and murder while leftist politicians bail them out and encourage their violence in the streets. They can call black people who don't subscribe to their supremacist ways coons, Uncle Tom's House, N-words, and all kinds of racist names. You mean the way that you're acting right now? Because that's exactly what she's doing. And by the way, this Kylie Fontanilla chick, I believe she's Jamaican. And I believe she's also mixed. She's trying to be another Amala Ekpunobi, who was, she was an early entry in the Blackarian Hall of Shame last year. She says, yep, black supremacy is a worse problem in America right now than white supremacy. And we got a whole nation of woke, there it is, corporate sheep cheering them on. This woman is a straight up bitch. Yes, I said it. But I want y'all to see, before I get to the other tweet, I want y'all to see something right here that proves without the shadow of a doubt that this woman indeed posted this with the intent of garnering people to catch her content or whatever she was putting out there. So look at this. It's a tweet that someone named Ashley Atia wrote to her on June 1st, which was the day after this tweet was posted. She says, not sure what's going on with the algorithm, but I haven't seen your post in almost a month. And then Kylie comes back and says, yep, I noticed a significant drop in views. My account was growing fast and then boom, it was shadow banned. So look at how this Ashley chick ended up finding Kylie was through this tweet that she posted that we just went over, that I just talked about. She had to post a tweet talking about quote unquote black supremacy for this PC woman to find her page again. So that lets you know that Kylie Fontanilla is going to be posting a lot more stuff like this in order for the algorithm to be on her side. But not to be outdone, now this tweet is more recent. As a matter of fact, I think this tweet might have been posted today on the 5th or maybe the 4th of June. Now keep in mind what she said in the previous tweet. Now that tweet, she was completely bashing black people and talking about how black supremacy is a thing. And I've noticed a theme on her page is that when it comes to talking about black people, that's when she writes these elongated extracurricular ECR type of tweets. When it's talking about anything else, they're very short and condensed. They may be a little lengthy, but not to this extent. But we always a subject matter of somebody, somehow, some way. But look at what she posted here. I am worried about what leftism is doing to black America. It is so unhealthy. It's a sick relationship and black people need to break up with the left. Why are black men being celebrated when they wear skirts or let their little boys think they are girls? We have an absent father crisis, even though stats show otherwise. The black men I want to see being put on a pedestal are those being present for their children and raising them right. When is that ever celebrated on the left? Why are black women celebrated for twerking while morbidly obese? I'm feeling like that was a jab at Lizzo more than anything. It says, why is it okay, even justified, when hordes of young black kids loot a CVS because they are quote unquote oppressed? And if a black person dares to break free from the left, why is it acceptable for them to be called coons and house N-words by those of the same race? Leftist white people are encouraged to judge black people by the color of their skin first and claim their quote unquote privilege to their face and get a round of applause for this rather than a slap in the face. Leftism has black people celebrating the win of Jim Crow Joe Biden. I can't even think of a politician who has done more harm to black people than old Joe in the last 40 years. He was literally proud to lock up black men and throw away the key. And as I said, leftism has black people celebrating this racist man's win, like delusional lapdogs doing their master's bidding. It's an unhealthy, sick, codependent relationship that became emergency room status when Lyndon B. Johnson famously stated, I'll have those N-words voting Democrat for the next 200 years. 50 years later, black people are still falling for the same manipulative crack dealer tricks. And look, they got black America all sucked back in again with BLM, all heated, all emotional, throwing logic and common sense out the window, a pimp and his prostitute. This is all this relationship is. Black America, you are being used and abused. It's time you wake up, see your worth, and don't come at me with your tired, contrived, you hate your own race line. I speak in love. Love is not blind. I've been on the left. Of course she has, because that's all where they all started, and when they can't get what they want out of that, they go over there. And this is, like I'm telling you, she just proved right here that she's grifting. This woman is doing this for a check and some follows. She says, I know that is a web of emotional deceit, and it's easy to get drunk off of the wine of constant perceived victimhood, but I dare you to sober up, grow up, and break free, we the free. And this one got more traction, as you can see, opposed to the last one, because the last one I think had like 117,000 plus views, and this one has almost 200,000. So you can see the way that she's quote unquote going viral, the way that she's making herself go viral is to talk bad about black people every chance she gets. Everything she said right here could apply to the side that she's on now. And that's the thing. They think that that other side is so much better for us. Neither one of them cater to our needs. And I think I had said, if y'all listen to the collab that myself and Rob did on Greg Foreman and Myron Gaines, I was saying that really all they want us for is for padded numbers. That's really all it is. Like, what benefit am I going to get? Because I always said I would hate to have to go over to that side and have to act like this. If you look at a lot of the quote unquote black conservatives, as I like to call them, all of them act the same exact way. They talk the same way. They walk the same way. They may be opposite genders, but they literally are like branches of each other. I could never debase or lower myself down to that level of what she is and do this. I could not. And the fact that she says that she has self-hate and everything like that means people have already checked her on that. But the thing is, she's grifting. She has to keep the grift going. I can't take none of these people seriously. I really can't. We know why you're here. We know why you're sent out here to say these things. And they do it every election cycle, because we all know what 2024 is. The election cycle is pretty much now. So this is what they do every election cycle. It never changes. They think we are dumb. I'm not falling for her crap. And even if it was somebody on the quote unquote left, I would put them on blast too. I have put them on blast. But the thing is, when she says stuff like this, if you was to close your eyes and you was just to read this and you didn't know who wrote it, you would swear it came from a dub S, because she's using their talking points. They're using her as a shield, and she's glad to be that shield. She's glad to be that pet. Again, I cannot take any of them seriously. And if they think putting stuff up like this weekly, daily, however it is going to make black people just flock over to you, you have another thing coming, because you basically verbally abused black people. That's what you did in the previous tweet, saying black supremacy is a thing, and then follow up with this. Are you kidding me? Do you really think that's gonna work? And then you got white people cheering her on. That's why I say I don't know who's worse, the people who put the stuff out there or their audience. Talking about preach, oh, that's the truth, and this, that, and the third. I even saw one person in her comment section or retweeted it saying we just need to leave black people behind. Of course, that was a PC person that said that. See what kind of stuff that breeds, what she put out there? She probably even mean it like that, but that's what they'll interpret it as. Just leave those N-words in the dust. We don't need them anymore. They're just dead weight. We got the illegal immigrants here now. You know, that's why I keep telling y'all. Quiet as it's kept. Granted, on the surface, the quote unquote left are letting them come in, but it's those on the right who are glad they're here, because that means they can replace us. They would rather deal with them than deal with us. Quiet as it is kept. Hence that tweet that I saw in which that person said we just need to leave them alone, like them just die off. They won't tell you that though. Oh, you don't think that they not getting a benefit from that? They may put on the front saying that, oh, we don't need them here, or we don't want them here because they're doing this, that, and the third to the economy, but quiet as it's kept, they do want them here. Because guess what? They're sending them to these sanctuary cities. they're not sending them back across the border like they did the Haitians last year. Oh, something to think about, right? Why isn't Governor Abbott, aka Wheels, and the Snowflake, why aren't they sending them back across the border, especially since they're so close? They did it with the Haitians. No, we're gonna send them to the sanctuary cities and place them specifically in black areas. So you can't tell me that they're not working hand in hand. They're working in tandem with each other. They always have.